Today we are going to learn a practical in surveying, which is plane table surveying. So our today's title of the practical is plane table survey by intersection method. And aim of this practical is what? To locate the small distances or small features of the ground on the paper by using the simple instrument, basic instrument, which is used in the surveying. So before performing the practical, we will see roughly which are the different methods used for this plane table surveying. So these are different methods which are used for plane table surveying. So radiation, intersection, traversing and resection. These are the four methods which are generally used for plane table surveying. Radiation method is used whenever we have to locate the plot boundaries, or it is very easy to draw a rays between 2 points on the paper. Then intersection method is generally used for locating the plot boundaries or corners of any site. A traversing method is used for the large survey work. Whenever we have to plot the boundaries, also we have to locate the small features on the ground. Then we will use this traversing method. And resection method is used when we are having some obstructions in our survey work. Then we have to use this resection method. Today we will learn only the intersection method, which is very easy and simple method in plane table surveying. So students, before performing the practical, we will see which are the different instruments used for this plane table surveying. So now in this box, we will see one by one all the instruments which are used for this plane table surveying. So we will start from the level tube. So this is level tube which is used for leveling of the plane table. In this tube you can see that the bubble is present, water bubble is present, and this bubble is moving when I am moving this level tube. So it indicates the level of plane table. So whenever you will start the practical, you have to take care that this water bubble should be present in the center like this. So whenever this bubble is in the center, then you can say that your plane table is having the proper level. So this first setting of the plane table surveying you have to do. Then after this level tube, the next instrument which is used is the trough compass. So this trough compass is used for marking the direction of the north on the paper. So whenever you will start any survey work, then you have to take care that this surveyor compass, that is trough compass, will be showing the direction, and we have to mark the direction on our paper. Then this one is the U fork. So this U fork is used for marking the point of the ground on the paper. So this U fork is made up of metal. You can see that this U fork is having the ring at its bottom. So this ring is provided for fixing the plumb bob. So this is plumb bob. So this plumb bob can be fixed on this ring, and you can use this plumb bob for marking on the point on the ground. So like this, you have to place this on the table and you have to mark the point on the paper on the ground. So this is very useful whenever you are marking the points on the ground. The next important instrument which is used in this plane table surveying is the alidade. So this scale is known as the alidade, which are provided with two vanes. So this one is the sight vane and this one is the object vane. So sight vane is used for bisecting the object through this object vane. Now you can see that this object vane is having the crosshair at its center. So this crosshair is useful for bisecting the ranging rod whenever you are dealing with the plane table surveying. So from this point you have to see the object, and from this point you have to mark the object. This scale is made up of steel material. This scale is having the marking in centimeter. So if you have to measure the distance, then that distance will be drawn on the paper by using this scale. So this scale is very much important whenever you are bisecting the any object, or whenever you are marking any object which is present on the ground. In addition to this instrument, we also need the tape for measurement of linear distances between two types. So this is metal wire tape, which is very useful for marking the distances. Also these markings are in centimeter and in inch. So you can use the marking whichever is suitable for you. And we will need some drawing accessories which are useful for drawing on the paper. So you have to carry this marking accessories, drawing accessories, and you have to carry out this plane table accessories. And if rainy season is there, then you have to take care of the rains which are coming on the paper.
So students, we have seen basic components and instruments which are used in the plane table surveying. So now we are going to perform this practical of plane table surveying by the method of intersection. So in this method of intersection, we will need 2 points which we have to bisect, and we will need 2 station points. So I am standing at the first station point, which is station P. So this station P we have to mark, then station Q is there. Then we are having 2 points as point A and point B. So we have to mark the location of these points onto this paper by using the method of intersection. So as we have discussed earlier, in this method of intersection, we can locate the object by using 2 different stations. So this method is very helpful whenever we have to we have any obstacles, or we have to locate any object on the paper. So basically this instrument needs a clear weather condition. So now you can see the weather condition is clear, so we have to perform this practical. So first, before starting with this practical, we have to mark the north direction, and before marking the north direction, some basic setup of the instrument is required. So first centering point, that is nothing but the leveling of the instrument. So before starting the practical, we will level this instrument. So for the leveling, you have to remember some thumb rules. So after setting up this plane table onto the tripod stand, I will keep this level tube at different points. So these different points, we have to check that this bubble is merged in the center, and you have to fix this station point such that all the station points should be visible from our station point. So before starting the practical, I will just check the levels at different corners. So at this corner the bubble tube is at center. I will check at this corner also. Again the bubble tube is at center. Similarly, I will check for the this corner. Again the bubble tube is in the center, and last one I will keep the bubble tube at this corner. After making sure that the instrument is in the level and the bubble tube is in the center, we have to mark the north direction by using this trough compass. So I will mark this trough compass at the right corner of this sheet. So this is my right corner of the sheet. So I will just mark north direction. So after marking the north direction, by using instrument U fork, we will mark the center of this station point on the paper as well as on the ground. So you can see that this U fork is attached with the plumb bob, and at the bottom of this plumb bob we have to mark our station point. So this is my station point. By using this arrow, I will fix this station point. So you can see that. So in this way you have to mark your center point on the ground. So this is my station number 1, that is station A. Now I have to bisect the different lines and different points. So we will start with the station number B. So simply I will use this alidade. By using this alidade, you can see that it is having the eye side and object side. So I will just keep this U fork aside. So now using this alidade, I will bisect the point B from this point A, which I have marked on the paper. So now you can see that the ranging rod, that is station number B, is bisected by using this alidade. So I will make sure that this point will be passed from the eye side as well as from the object side. So I will just draw a ray passing through that point A. So this is my marking of station number 2, that is station point B. Now I will mark 2 objects which we have to plot on the paper. So I will just simply bisect the station number 2, that is station point P. So again the rays will be passed from the same station point. So my line of sight is very straight. It is marked with the P point. So I will just draw a line which is passing through that point P, and again I will draw this ray which is passing towards our first point, that is P. Now I will bisect the second point, that is point number Q. So again I will draw a ray which is passing through that point Q by using the alidade. Now we have to measure the distance between these points by using the tape. So after drawing the rays for 3 points which we have to bisect, we will measure the distance by using the tape. So first we will measure the distance between 2 station points. So we will use the tape. So make sure that there are no undulations on the tape. So tape you have to keep very straight. So this distance I will mark as 7 meters and 30 centimeters. So this is the distance for our first point. So I will just write down the distance here. Then we will measure the distance for second point. So second point distance we also mark with the tape. So distance for the second point is 11 meter and 70 centimeter. And we will now measure the distance for third point. So this distance is 10 meter and 20 centimeter. So we will simply write down these distances. Now we have to fix one scale for plotting these distances. So we will use the scale as 1 centimeter is equal to 100 meter, that is 1:100. So by converting these points, we have to mark these points on the paper. So now we have shipped our instrument for first station towards the second station. After shifting the instrument, we will make sure that the orientation will be there. So orientation means what? The line of sight which we have drawn from the first point will bisect again our second station point. So I will make sure that our instrument is in orientation. Also I will check the north direction of the instrument, so it will be same as per the previous station. So our work will be recorded with respect to this north direction. Now we have already measured the distance between 2 stations, and that distance is 7 meter and 30 centimeters, which I have already marked on the paper. So now I will just adjust the center point of my paper with the center point of our station. So we have fixed the arrow at this center point. So after checking the north direction, we will adjust the line of sight from the station point first to the station point second. So I will just draw a line by using the alidade, and I will mark the distance on this paper. So distance is already known to us, that is the 7 meter and 30 centimeters. So we will just convert by using the scale of 1:100, and I will just draw a line by using that scale of 1:100. So I will mark the center, and also this center will be checked by using this U fork. Now you can see that the arrow is fixed at the second station point, and we have marked this second point on the paper itself. Now we will bisect our object point first. So now my first point we have to bisect by using this alidade. So I will just draw a ray which will be passing through my center point of the station as well as our object point, and I will draw the ray. After bisecting the first object point, I will bisect the second object point, that is point number 2, again from the center of the station point. So I will just draw the ray which is passing through that second object point. Now I will measure the distance between these 2 points from my point. So already station distance is measured, so we will measure the distance of 2 objects from my point. So by using the tape, I will measure the distance. So I will just adjust the tape and I will measure the distance. So the distance of first point is 6 meter and 70 centimeters. and distance of the second point is 7 meter and 30 centimeters. So, I will just convert these 2 points into the scale and we will draw our object. So, my conversion I have make sure then I have adjusted and I will draw a line between these 2 rays. So, in this way you can see that our 2 station points are marked onto the paper. So, this method is very useful when we have to bisect the objects which are inaccessible, and also we have to make sure that our ground measurements are correct. And if you convert the scale into the readings, and then you can check our readings also. So, we will just have a look what we have drawn on the paper. So, on the paper you can see that I have marked the north direction, then I have written down the scale, and these are the different rays which I have drawn. So, these are our 2 stations, that is station A and station B. So, I will write down the name as A dash and B dash. Then after drawing the rays, by converting our dimension by using the scale which is 1:100 meter, I have marked this point B dash. So, similarly you can see that different rays are drawn to our different objects. So, this one is P dash, this one is Q dash, this one is B dash. So, after taking the readings from this A dash point, we had shift towards point B dash, and then we have drawn these different rays, and only we have written down the distances. So, by using this method we can easily draw a object which is available on the ground if it is possible to have 2 station points. So, you can see that we have marked our 2 points very successfully by using this method of plane table of intersection. So, this method is very useful, it is very simple method. So, today we will end this practical. So, thank you.